All right, guys. So for today, we're going to finish up the set of notes. I believe we have 5 examples today. That's it. Then I'm going to give you guys time to work, so hopefully you can get homework done so you don't have to worry about it for the weekend. Or have to try to think about doing it during success and then not being able to come for success. Got that, boys? Yes. Oh, I know it's on there. All right. So, guys, what we're doing today is we're kind of working backwards. So normally I'm like, here's your problem. You factored it. You found the zeros, right? You found where it crossed the x-axis. Today, I'm starting at the bottom. Here's the answers. Here's where it crosses. Can you work that backwards to where it came from? Yeah, you can. All right, so what is a polynomial function with zeros of -3, 3, and 4? So let's kind of stop and think kind of backwards through our process. Normally it's here's the problem, you factored it, and then you gave me the answers, right? So if here are the answers, what factors did they come from? Where does -3 come from? What factor would you have had on your paper? X plus 3. Where did 3 come from? And where did 4 come from? Look at that. That's the first part. If I gave you that and said solve, you'd be like, oh yeah, it's -3, 3, and 4, right? So we're just kind of putting it back into there. So that's why if you look at your steps, write a factor for each 0. The sign within your factor will be the opposite of the sign of the 0. Just thinking about solving. All right, now we just need to multiply that back together. How's it? All right, so when we do this, though, there are 3 things. Here's where students get themselves in trouble. All right, little side note. If I asked you to multiply 2 times 3 times 4, someone raise your hand and tell me how you would multiply that. Lou. Okay, makes total sense. Could you have done something else? What else could you have done? Gotten 12 times 2 is 24. 4's got a mind of its own. So did it matter which 2 you multiply first? No. Now let me ask you this, because somebody's always going to try to do that when I throw in variables. Can I multiply 2 times 3 and then 2 times 4 and then multiply those 2 numbers together? No, that's dumb, right? You would never think to do that, right? So don't do that up here. Okay? Take it back to basics. Think about how you'd multiply 3 numbers together. So in other words, I can even multiply these first 2 together and then multiply it by the last one. Or I can multiply the last 2 together and then multiply by the first one. My personal preference, because I like how things flow nicer, I always start with the back 2. That's just me and my own personal preference. I start with the back 2 and kind of work my way back. It flows nicer for whatever reason for me, so that's kind of how I always do it. So let's multiply these. And we have to distribute, so x times x. X times -4. -4, wash your mouth. We're distributing. -3 times x. And then -3 times -4, positive 12. Please collect your like terms so you don't make your life super duper hard on yourself. That gives you -7x. All right, so right now all I've done is multiply the back 2 together. And now I need to multiply that by what? The x plus 3. I'm going to just drop this one down. And now I'm going to multiply by that one. The same way you did just 3 plain numbers, right? You multiply 2 of them together. That answer you multiply by the other. Same thing I'm doing here. All right, so we'll distribute here. This is why I don't like that 4-letter F word, because it doesn't work on something like this. First, outside, inside, last. Yeah, watch your mouth. All right, so here we go. So we have to distribute here. So we get x cubed minus 7x squared plus 12x. For whatever reason, I get students who do fine to here, and then suddenly they get themselves lost on the next step. What am I doing next? Distribute the 3. What does the 3 get multiplied by? What, everything? This? Yes. For some reason, I have students who start multiplying that by this. I'm like, what are you doing? Okay. It distributes all the way through here, just like we did up here. So we get 3x squared minus 21x plus 36. And then combine your like terms. So we have x cubed, negative 7x squared plus 3x squared, negative 4x squared, 12x minus 21x, negative 9x, bless you, and then plus 36. Now, grab your graphing calculator. I didn't say throw your graphing calculator. So, everybody grab your calculator, hit y equals, type in your answer. So we got x cubed minus 4x squared minus 9x plus 36. Make sure you look at what you typed in, that you didn't type the entire equation as an exponent. Just be careful. I see people do that all the time. Your calculator won't. Because these ones, they will move that cursor up when you try to do the cubed, and then it stays up there unless you arrow down to get it back out of there. All right, so looking at your graph, where does your graph cross the x-axis? Negative 3. Positive 3 and 4. Look at your original problem. So what does that tell you about the answer I got? It's right. If you get done with this whole thing and then graph your answer and it does not cross where it's supposed to, is wrong. Now, do me a favor though. Most students do fine going from here to here. If they mess up somewhere, it's because they did something in the math here. Don't type this part in. Because, I mean, obviously, you can go from here to here fine. That's not going to tell you this answer is wrong. Okay? Because you could have maybe missed a minus sign or something in there. So you can always check these, which I know is a great thing, right? You want to make sure you're right. Your final answer, graph them, make sure they crossed where they should have crossed. So then you know you're right. If it doesn't, you messed up somewhere. Start over. Don't cry, just start over. All right, so let's take a look at number 8. What is a polynomial function with zeros of negative 5, 0, and 2? Right now, my final answer should be what degree? 3. So what's the fancy word for that? Cubic. Good. It should be cubic because there's 3 answers, right? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. Set it up. So y equals, where does negative 5 come from? Just plus 5. X plus 5. Where does 0 come from? Just an x out in front. Baby brother was x. And then where does 2 come from? X minus 2. All right, so there's your setup. You are not done. What form is this in? I want standard form. Somebody said it. Factored form. Thank you. This is factored form, right? It looks like when you're done factoring. This is factored form. I want standard form, which means you multiply it together to give me standard. Okay? So again, I'm going to start with the back 2. I'm going to start with these. I'm going to multiply those together. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 2, negative 2x. 5 times x is 5x. And 5 times negative 2, negative 10. Collect your like terms. X squared plus 3x minus 10. And then don't forget to drop down that baby brother. Don't lose your baby brother again. And then we distribute him. So we'll end up with x cubed plus 3x squared minus 10x. How do I check to make sure that's right? Graph it. Grab your graphing calculator. Let's type it in. Let's go back to y equals. Clear out what you had. We have x cubed plus 3x squared minus 10x And where should it cross? Good. It should cross at those 3 points I gave you to start the problem. If it didn't, either you messed up your math here or you typed it in your calculator wrong. You don't have any X's on this stuff, huh? I saw your graph, I'm like, something's wrong in there. All right. Questions so far before we move into one that's a little bit harder? Yes. Oh, I use purple all the time. Savannah? Yes. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep, so number 9, there are 4 answers. My final answer should be an x to the 4th if I do it right. All right, so let's go ahead and write them down. So y equals -4, -3, 1, 4. Oh, this one's going to be fun. I'm actually kind of happy you said it just how you said it. All right, so Carrie's question was, can I do like the back 2? Can I multiply the front 2? And then she said, then add them. Wait, no, and then multiply them. The correct answer is yes, you can. However, what do you think most people do? They add them. Yeah. Mathematically, yes, you can do exactly what you just said. But most people will start adding them together for whatever reason. So for me, I start with the back 2 and I just keep dropping that 1 down until I'm done. Helps avoid, for whatever reason, adding. It's really funny that you actually said what people normally do. Just kind of made my day. All right, so I'm going to start with the back 2. You just like drove that point home even more so. All right, so starting with the back 2, x times x squared, x times -4, -1 times x, -1 times -4, +4. Do you see how easy it is to mess up one sign, which then messes up your entire problem? Which is why we should always check these, okay? It's real easy to mess up one sign. All right, go ahead and collect like terms. So we get x squared minus 5x plus 4. All right, where am I going next? Yep, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of keep going. I'm going to drop this one down, and I'll distribute that one through. The last 2? That's fine. But now you need to multiply both those answers together. Yeah. The only reason I don't do it that way is because exactly what Carrie had said initially. She goes, and then add them together. I'm like, no, multiply. Because people want to add. That's the only reason I don't show it that way. But no, it totally works. All right, so distributing here, we get x cubed minus 5x squared plus 4x. Then we distribute the 3 through, so 3x squared minus 15x plus 12. Aren't these fun? All right, clean it up a little bit. So we have x cubed, negative 5x squared plus 3x squared, negative 2x squared, 4x plus 5x, 9x. Oh, wait, is that a 15? Ooh, my own handwriting got me. I know how some of you guys feel. That's 4x minus 15x, wasn't it? Sorry. So that's negative 11x. And then plus 12. And we still have one left. Yes? Which part, hon? What color? The big long line of blue? This line? It's just me distributing the x plus 3 through that. Because I distributed x to everything, and then I distributed the 3 to everything. x times x squared is x cubed. X times negative 5x is negative 5x squared. X times 4 is 4x. And then 3 times x squared is 3x squared. 3 times negative 5x, 3 times 4. You literally have to distribute everything all the way through that. Does that make sense? Okay. Can I finish this first? Okay. All right, and then from here, we will go ahead and distribute the x. So x to the 4th minus 2x cubed minus 11x squared plus 12x. Isn't this fun? Plus 4x cubed minus 8x squared minus 44x plus 48. Am I done yet? No, I didn't collect my like terms yet. All right, so final answer. Here we go. So we get x to the 4th. Negative 2x cubed plus 4x cubed is 2x cubed. Negative 11x squared minus 8x squared. Negative 19x squared. 12x minus 44x minus 32x, and then plus 48. And then after all of that, what should you probably do? Let's check. Let's check that. Type that in, make sure it crosses where it's supposed to. All right, so do you guys want me to give you something that's like quintic? Because there would be 5 of them. I won't. I'm not that mean. All right. All right, guys, let me give you a few minutes. Try 10 and 11. Okay? It is only 5. Try 10 and 11 on your own. All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk through this real quick. So on the first one, setting this up, 0 comes from an x out in front. 1 is x minus 1. And 7 is x minus 7. A couple of you, I think, noticed you had a mistake when you messed up multiplying negatives and positives or negatives and negatives. So be very careful and take your time through it. So starting with the back two, we're going to have x squared minus 7x minus 1x plus 7. Like terms, so we get x squared minus 8x plus 7. And then don't forget to drop down baby brother. And we'll distribute him throughout. So we get x cubed minus 8x squared plus 7x. There's some more on my desk. All right. Questions on 10. How many of you got 10 right? Yay, that's quite a bit. Yeah, got that one? Sometimes second attempt, that's okay. All right, so then 11, y equals negative 2 came from x plus 2. The 0 came from an x. It's okay if I flip them out of order. I'm going to throw him out in the front. 3 was x minus 3, and 5 was x minus 5. There's your setup. What form is that? Oh, that's not standard. It's factored form. I don't want factored form. I'm going to start with the back two. So we get x squared minus 5x minus 3x plus 15. Like terms, x squared minus 8x plus 15. All right, I'm going to drop down the next one. And we start multiplying again. Hey, guys. So x cubed minus 8x squared plus 15x plus 2x squared minus 16x plus 30. All right, like terms, we get x cubed. It's going to give me negative 6x squared minus x and plus 30. And then I still have that baby brother out in front. Now, I keep asking you guys, 1, to check them when you're done, and then 2, to make sure I had 4 answers, so it should be an x to the 4th. Okay, I know a common mistake is people stop here. They forget that little baby brother sitting out in front. So make sure you're looking, double check, x cubed, wait, I got 4 answers. I missed something, okay? Yeah. You what? You forget him? Yes. If you don't like him, yeah, I mean. All right, so we distribute here, x to the 4th minus 6x cubed minus x squared plus 30x. And there we be. And again, check them. You should know if they're right or not. Just graph them, see if it works. If it doesn't, do you just circle your answer anyway and turn it in? No, go back and fix it. Redo it. All right. Questions on all of this, Carrie? I'll come look at it in a sec. Yes. Of course it will. All right. Now, guys, true or false? This is very hard. True or false? This is tedious. That, to me, is more where it falls. To me, it falls in the tedious category. So I mess up one sign, it's all done. But is it hard? It's not hard. It's time-consuming. It's tedious. It's not hard math.